I love this phone. This phone is the best phone. Alright, guys, you're not going to believe this right now. It is currently 65 degrees outside. Now, I know that's not a big difference from the 70s that San Antonio usually gets at night, but for it to be 65 degrees outside and feel comfortable outside, it is extremely rare. Extremely rare. Right now, it is 65 degrees outside in San Antonio during July, right now. Alright, so there's five people temporarily. So let me ask you guys, are you considered Democrat, Republican, or conservative, or independent, or moderate? Let's have this debate and let's have it right now. Bazing! Dude, it's you're in the 70s right now, dude. It's 65 degrees here. It's 65 degrees. I'm shocked. It's only for tonight, really, but I cannot believe that it is literally 65 degrees and it's 62 degrees up the hill. If I go about 12 miles, I went to the mountainous areas of San Antonio and it said it was 62 degrees. This is very abnormal for Texas. I know it's just like for tonight. No, it is literally in the 60s right now. It's 65 degrees outside my window. Late July. Late July. Almost the hottest part of the year in San Antonio in South Texas. It is in the 60s right now. You guys don't understand how rare that is. It's almost impossible, like unheard of. Remember, it's the hottest part of the year. We're not supposed to be getting in the 60s. Not in this far south. I'm just shocked right now. It feels good outside right now. I'm shocked. It never gets that cool here. It never gets that cool during the summertime, San Antonio in July. This is the hottest part of the year. Now, we did hit almost 90 degrees yesterday, and we're going to hit 90 today. But for it to hit 65 degrees, it's supposed to get out about 63 before it goes up to 90 really quickly. But I'm just shocked right now. Like, it's not normal for a cold front to come in the middle of July. It's extremely rare and almost unheard of. Why are there cold fronts coming down in July? Somebody is manipulating the weather. But anyways, let's have a conversation real quick. Whether you're a conservative, independent, moderate, or a Republican, Democrat, let's talk about this. Let's go ahead and have a little debate. Let's talk. I'm open for discussion. Let's have a real talk about this. I want this conversation. Wolf Game. I don't understand it. You're not understanding. There was a dry cold front, whatever, coming down. It brought the temperatures down in San Antonio to the 60s at night. You don't understand. That never happens here. It is extremely rare, especially in July. Now, if this was, November, October, September, even, I wouldn't care. But for it to happen in the hottest part of the summer for South Texas, it's just not normal. Right now, I can go outside and enjoy myself, which I've been doing for the last couple hours because, hell yeah, I'm going to enjoy that one night of cool air. The door actually feels cool to the touch. But let's talk. It's like a free air conditioner outside right now. It's like Cali weather. That's what it feels like outside. It feels just like Cali weather. Oh, it's perfect outside. Oh, if it was only 60, if it was only the 60s all the time in San Antonio. Oh, it would be a miracle in heaven. But anyways, let's talk. Are you a conservative, Democrat, Republican, or independent? Let's talk, or moderate. I don't really do votes and that stuff. Just the way I am just saying. Bazing, you consider yourself a Republican, so you consider yourself a Trumper. A Trump fan, right? You know what? I don't know what I am. I don't know if I'm more conservative or if I'm a Republican or What? But I don't I don't like people who swing too far to the left. Liberal, Liberal. I think I don't know how to spell liberal. I'm just not a fan of liberals. I'm sorry. I like to cuss. I like the freedom of speech. If I want to say the word fuck while I would like to say that with freedom of speech. It's not a hateful word. Fuck. It's just a word. fuck. It is just a word. I don't understand how that word could hurt anybody. It's just a word. I mean, like, people are being. Look, here's my issue. Here is my issue. Look, I have a lot of medical problems. I'm not doing too well with the dizziness all the time, but hopefully my ear doctor or cardiologist will figure out what's going on. It doesn't seem like it's a heart issue. It seems like it's an inner ear disorder. I've been diagnosed with Meniere's, which is very debilitating at times. You get these vertigo attacks. It feels like the room is spinning. You also get lightheaded with the vertigo attacks. And then if you have allergies, it makes Meniere's worse. So you get more vertigo attacks. And sometimes you get dizzy attacks, which is a little bit different than vertigo, but it's still debilitating. And sometimes you can't even think clearly because you're spinning in your room and you're not supposed to. Yeah, it's scary. It's kind of like being on a um think of the roller coasters that go upside down. Now, if you close your eyes, now this is not happening to me right now, but sometimes I have these attacks where if I close my eyes and if I lay my head to the right, it feels like I'm being spun around for like maybe 10, 20 minutes. And then it stops and then I'm good for a while. Then it comes and goes depending on my diet. If I eat too much salt, it'll make it really bad. Very scary, but as I get older, it's gonna happen more and more and more. Hopefully, it gets better as I age, though. Okay, so let's talk. All right, Democrat, Republican. All right, so here's what I don't agree with the liberals, and I'm just gonna say this. I actually watched Tim Pool's videos, and I also watch the Next News Network. I watch. Who else do I watch? I actually do watch the Young Turks. I don't agree with like 99% of what they say, but I like the fact that I can watch both sides and get both sides of the stories. But lately, it seems like these liberals, I'm not necessarily talking about Democrats, man, they are insane. They are insane. I thought I was insane. I thought my panic attack going to the hospital every day was insanity, but at the same time, these liberals are just violent people. They need to be locked in a mental hospital and medicated. These people are violent. They attack people for no reason. They steal from them. They take their signs. They're not good people. And they say that Republicans are evil, but I mean Republicans hold values that is gone with the country over time. Like I noticed that a lot of Republicans usually are religious, not all of them, but some of them. Republicans, independents, and some conservatives are religious, and moderates and leftists are not really most of the time religious. But I've realized over the years that, saying yes sir, yes ma'am, opening the door for women, opening the door for other men, for some reason, here in Texas, I still do that. And I also did that in New Jersey, and I freaked a lot of people out. But in Texas, usually we still have that common courtesy of opening and closing the door for people, saying yes sir, yes ma'am, having respect, and that is what is gone with the country. Like having respect for other people is what's gone with the country. And to be honest, I genuinely believe, in my opinion, that because we lost that respect of people by not respecting them anymore, and I think that's what's causing all this violence. Because people have lost respect for other people, and I think that is another reason why there are so many murders, rapes, kidnappings, torture, you name it, it's there. And I think it's because a lot of people have lost respect for one another, and it's caused people just to go psychotic and to become a little bit more down in society, and it's caused a lot of people hardships. You know, especially with greedy companies taking people's homes. They have nothing better to do but commit crimes and do bad things to people, like rob, stab, shoot, maim. And I hate the fact that we do have guns. I do hate the fact that there are evil people out there that they don't care about you. They will kill you for no reason or stupid reasons. And I don't think that's a good thing. And I'm tired of seeing all the violence, car thefts, car robberies. But at the end of the day, then I don't sympathize with the robbers. But at the same time, they're just trying to make money for themselves and their families because they can't get hired because they committed a felony when they were maybe a teenager and they made a mistake and now it ruined the rest of their life. So all they know is crime. So you have to think of it that way too. And they don't know any better, so now they're out committing crimes just to put food on the table for their family or themselves. And as much as I hate saying that, it's true. Um, and I think the rise in crime in general is because of the hatefulness that the media puts in people's hearts by the consistent negativity on the news. Because remember, human brains are susceptible to a little bit of mind control in a way, like CNN and Fox, right? I kind of like Fox, but I don't watch too much of them, especially now that I have the internet. I like to watch independent news where I don't get blasted by the same crap over and over like CNN does. And I feel bad for all the Democrats that watch that news network. I feel real bad for them because they're trying to be politically correct, right? Because that's what Democrats usually do. They like to be politically correct and help as many people as possible. But what they don't realize, and this is my opinion, is they realize by helping too many people, they're actually creating an environment where everybody will be on the nipple of the government. And that's what Democrats believe. And Republicans believe that you should only be on food stamps, welfare, government assistance, SSI, and SSDI if you have a serious impairment. But Democrats, they just pretty much believe that everybody should get everything and everything should be handed down without issues. Republicans more think you should only have that if you're really seriously debilitated, aka mental illness, aka physical illness. Then the Republicans would agree that you should have that. Other than that, they believe that you should be working. Now, a lot of moderates and liberals, they don't have a job, and they bash everybody, and they insult, degrade, and they will literally eat you alive for no reason. And I don't get the anger of people of getting angry at everybody, and just ruins it for the rest of us. It just ruins it for the. Look at San Francisco. Look at Seattle. Beautiful cities. Beautiful fucking cities, man. San Francisco's a beautiful fucking city. Seattle, Washington's a beautiful fucking city. And LA was a beautiful fucking city. And I loved all three. And this is coming from a straight Texan that has been around across this country. I've seen all the cities. I've seen their beauty. Now, unfortunately, there's a lot of homeless people now in those cities, and they have nowhere to use the bathrooms. So what does the liberals do? They decrime using the restroom in the public, instead of solving the issue by saying this. Well, instead of making them poop in the streets, why don't we get them public bathrooms where they can go safely to use the bathroom? Why don't we rent some porta potties? Do something. What is their problem? Now they have like a dedicated team in San Francisco that picks up human fecal matter. This is sad. These are the homeless people. All these people that are homeless, it's so sad that they're even homeless to begin with. The prices are so high in California, that's the reason why everybody's becoming homeless in Cali. That's the reason why it all began with to begin with. Because everything's too expensive there. And some of them don't want to leave California, so they'd rather become homeless than move to a different state, which is cheaper and they can afford it. It's because of these Democrats. They put all these taxes, and they just keep taxing everybody to death. That's why everybody's moving to Texas, my state, a beautiful state, a great state, a great state with great morals, a great state. Oklahoma, a great state. Yeah, it gets hit by tornadoes all the time, but their morals are there compared to other states. New Jersey, Democratic state. Look what's happened to it. Potholes everywhere, damage on the infrastructure, telephone poles barely hanging. If you guys have seen my old live streams, you've seen my video of this telephone pole near a Sonic near Newark, New Jersey, and this pole is literally strapped. Instead of just replacing the telephone pole, they literally put a strap around the telephone pole so it doesn't fall over. Instead of just replacing the telephone pole, like normal energy companies would. And they're just allowing that. Like, it's sad, and they're just allowing all those potholes in Newark, and they're just allowing all the potholes in Rahway, Elizabeth. They're allowing that in all those other cities, New Jersey, Jersey City, and then South Jersey's more Republican, and they don't have a pothole problem in South Jersey. It's weird. It's very strange that northern New Jersey has all those problems, but southern New Jersey doesn't seem to really have any of the issues. Connecticut doesn't really seem to have too much of a pothole problem. Funny how different from Connecticut is, and that's north of New York. And New York itself is a Democratic area, and they have a bajillion potholes that would swallow a house. But in Texas, Ohio, especially Ohio, by the way, I used to live in Ohio, and it would snow, and they would sleet the roads all the time, but I never hit potholes in Ohio. I never hit potholes in big cities in Ohio. Now, there is potholes in Ohio, but they're not as many as New Jersey and New York. It's so sad that New Jersey is such a beautiful place. I did enjoy New Jersey. Look, I'm not going to lie. I am a Texan, but I'm not going to lie. I'm going to say it. I liked New Jersey at the end, right before I left. I was kind of, mad and sad and just broken. And it's sad because I kind of started to like New Jersey. I was starting to like the Northeast. I was finally at the end, right before I made that video, me like screaming, finally I'm leaving New Jersey. I was kind of going to miss it because I was starting to kind of like the fact that I could go to New York City anytime I wanted. I could take a train, or I could take an Uber to a train and go to New York, or I could just get in the car and pay $15, which is another Democratic fee of ridiculousness, to go to New York City and drive. But at the same time, it's like, why is it that I seem that for the most part, a lot of Democratic cities, their infrastructure is so bad? Do you guys remember a few years ago many years ago, when the St. Louis Bridge collapsed? I think that was St. Louis. I don't know if it was St. Louis or not. But one of these gigantic bridges collapsed in one of the major cities, and I forgot which city it was. I think it was St. Louis, but I'm not 100% sure. A Democratic area. Why does this really never happen in Republican areas? Like, why are the roads really nice in the state of Texas? Houston's got really good roads. San Antonio, El Paso has really nice roads. Eagle Pass has nice roads. Why is it that cities in Texas take very good care of their roads? Cities in New Mexico take pretty damn good care of their roads. Why is it the cities in Arizona take pretty good care of their roads? Why is cities like northern states, like, Michigan does not take care of their roads at all. They don't even try. I can give them the excuse of lake effect snow. I can give Michigan a pass because they get a hell of a lot of lake effect snow. I can understand. But that doesn't give Pennsylvania an excuse to have crappy ass roads. And yeah, they get the lake effect snow, but not as bad as like Ohio, and not as bad as Michigan, and not as not as bad as northern Indiana. The Indiana does pretty good on their roads, which is surprising. I'm just sad because the Democrats just can't get along with us Republicans, or if I am a Republican, I don't even know what the hell I am. I'm just tired of fighting. Like mentally, I know that if I go against a liberal, they're just gonna use these excuses, and I can never have a valid conversation with these people. And it's always the same shit over and over and over. Republicans did this, and Donald Trump did that. Donald Trump did this, and Donald Trump did that, and Donald Trump did this, and Donald Trump did that. The guy is a New Yorker. He talks, and he talks with the truth. Like Donald J. Trump didn't become a billionaire overnight just because he wanted to. He's a cutthroat businessman at the end of the day. Why don't people understand that about Donald J. Trump? I've been watching Trump since I was little. I mean, I didn't really know about him, but I could tell that, he was very well respected in the community. He's a cutthroat businessman. He made millions and billions of dollars selling and buying infrastructure in New York City and other places. Like, this guy has a very strong mind. And just the media bashing him is just kind of sad. It's just sad. Like, what kind of person does that to somebody that's trying to actually make the country somewhat better? It's just really sad to me, because I genuinely do believe that Donald J. Trump is trying to make the country better. Maybe he's a little rough around the edges because he's not a politician. He's more of a guy that got caught in the middle. He really didn't think he was probably going to win the presidency, and then suddenly he wins. I honestly, and in my honest opinion, I don't even think Russia has anything to do with this. I think it's just the Democrats, because they're so hateful against him because he's trying to do stuff for the country, and they're not agreeing to what he's doing, that they will lie about anything they can to try to get him impeached. And it's funny, when Obama was in office, because I remember this. Obama used to talk about the southern border all the time, and how he was closing it off all the time. And I remember Obama doing this. And he actually put a lot of sanctions. And not only did he put a lot of sanctions, but he put a lot of tariffs against Mexico for not blocking illegal immigrants. But the mainstream media, like CNN, won't talk about that. They're only talking about Donald J. Trump or Orange Man Bad. And I'm trying to look at it from both areas. The Democrats want to give free health care to illegal immigrants. But what about the people that are homeless on the street right now? What about their Americans? What about those people? What do they get? What do they get? Nothing. So a lot of people have to live in their cars because of the expenses in California. But the liberals, they don't care. They don't care about anybody but themselves, man. Honestly, I really genuinely believe that Donald J. Trump has this one in the bag. Even the dislikes on CNN's videos are getting worse. That shows you something, that even the Democrats are kind of like, eh. Like, even Democrats is kind of like, just like, eh. Like, look, Donald J. Trump is a multi-billionaire. He's a cutthroat New Yorker, raised in New York, raised up his ass in New York. And honestly, I genuinely believe his attitude comes just because he's a New Yorker. Like, a lot of, like, I used to get offended from my fiance because she would say stuff that I thought she was degrading me on, but that's just how New Yorker and New Jerseyans talk. They talk like this, like, hey, listen over here real quick. Let me tell you something right now. Don't you talk to me like that. You talk to me in a disrespectful tone. Forget about it over here. What the hell you think you're doing? Like, that's how they talk. And I thought it was always degrading because I'm from Texas. So I always took that with like an insult. Like, it was an insult to talk like that. But then I realized that New Yorkers just talk like that naturally. And they're not meant to be offensive. That's just how they talk. And a lot of people don't know New Yorkers very well. That's how they talk. New Yorkers are very upfront of what they feel. That's how New Yorkers are, and they just tell you stuff up front. They don't sugarcoat anything, and I think that's why the Democrats do not like Donald J. Trump, is because he doesn't sugarcoat anything. But that's because not only is he a cutthroat businessman, but because he's a New Yorker, and I've been to New York, and I've talked to a lot of New Yorkers. I've driven a lot of New Yorkers. They just talk like that. They're like, "Hey, listen, look, I'm from Brooklyn over here. We always fight a lot. We always fucking fight. We always get in gang fights. But that's just how we do it. That's how we roll. That's just how we roll over here. That's just how we do it. We've been doing that for years and years and years, and centuries and centuries and centuries. We just fight, and then we get over it. We move on. That's how New Yorkers talk, and that's it. That's all I can say about it. That's just how New Yorkers are. Like people don't understand Donald J. Trump. He comes from an area where they just are cutthroat. Like they necessarily have an attitude. It's just they don't sugarcoat anything, and Democrats don't like that. They want to baby everybody and baby this and baby that. But what they don't realize is, at the end of the day, I think the United States American people that really care about this country, they want a ruthless president that will take care of them and take care of the country at the best of his ability. Now, I have looked through the Mueller report. I actually took the time to read a lot of it. And I didn't see anything that said Donald J. Trump committed anything. I actually took the time to read that fucking long ass page as much as I could. And there's nothing in there where Donald J. Trump committed any treason. But the Democrats, see, they know that they're going to lose next year. So they are trying anything to get the president out of office so they can become a Democratic president. They want a Democratic president again, like Obama. And this is what it comes down to. It comes down to the votes. That's why they want to allow illegal immigrants into the country, so that they can get the votes and so they can win. That's what it's coming down to, actually. It's all about that because they never cared about those immigrants, and I feel so bad for the immigrants because these immigrants are actually caught up in the middle. But the Democrats are doing this. They never cared about those immigrants before Donald J. Trump became president. They only care about them now. But it wasn't a problem before Donald J. Trump was president. When Obama was president, they never cared about the immigrants. Or really even cared about the border situation. Now, I find that very funny. What do you guys think? Legal immigrants will vote for Trump. Illegal immigrants vote for Democrats. Ain't that the truth, Ryan? Ain't that the truth? You are 100% correct. And that's all it is. They don't actually care about the poor immigrants. They don't give a fudge about them, man. They want their vote, dude. At the end of the day, that's all they want is their stupid fucking vote. You know it, I know it, we know it. Anybody with any common sense knows it. But unfortunately, you have these little liberals over here that just get mad at everything. Like, they just get mad at everything. Oh, I'm going to get mad because of this, and I'm going to get mad because of that. It's pretty sad. Okay, what the hell?